Monday Night Football. We got a good flex here. Atlanta to Washington. 4.5. Let's see. Oh, there's 3.5 out there at Fanatics if you live in a Fanatics market and you want to play Washington. And if you're head to FanDuel, you can find a 4.5 if you want to play Atlanta. 47.5 is our total here in this one. So, yeah, he didn't throw for a ton of yards and all of that, Mo, but I think it was very telling that the very first play that Atlanta ran from scrimmage was a bootleg outside of the pocket, and it was almost like a middle finger to Kirk Cousins on the sideline where it's like, hey, look at this play that we can run that you can't run, and all this. And like we mentioned on the pod last week, even though he didn't run a ton at Washington, it doesn't mean the dude can't. And we saw some escapability from him this past week. Like I said, at the combine, at his pro day, he ran a 4.56. Like, it's not like he's slow. It's not like this dude's caught in molasses or whatever. I certainly think it gives Atlanta a better chance to win with all of that. That said, hey, it's Washington is at least with Jaden Daniels always live, it seems like, in every single game. That said, 4.5 if you wanted to take the big number here in this one.
Yeah, 4.5. I'd start thinking about Atlanta. I had this one close enough to fair that I wasn't really planning to play it. Penix, he was a dual threat quarterback once, many years and ACLs ago at Indiana. So I thought he played pretty well. You saw the zip, which Kirk Cousins obviously lacks.
Yes.
So I still like Mooney. He didn't lead the league, as I said, might be a good bet, but he still led the team in yards, and I think facing a weak Washington group of corners, especially Marshawn Lattimore out again, they have been extremely snake bit on that trade. I kind of hope for their sake, just for what they gave up, that he at least plays in the playoffs. Yeah. I mean, not that I'm like any kind of Washington fan. I just feel bad what they gave up for him. They're not getting anything out of him. He's not even playing. So he just came back last week, instantly got hurt, and went back out, and now I think he's going to be out again. So, Darnell Mooney should be in a good spot to possibly win at least once deep. I would lean Falcons here, yes. You have to always think about market reaction to what could have happened last week, which is what happens if Devontae Smith catches that pass and Washington just loses. They're probably not 4-point favorites. So that's probably a play that Devontae Smith makes, 19 times out of 20. So I would lean towards selling peak Washington stock here, but I thought this line was within reason.
I will say this. It's forecasted it could be like pretty heavy rain there in Washington for this one. Just a reminder, Michael Penix played at Washington where it just rains rains all the time in Seattle. That's all it does. It's just rain in Seattle. So very well versed in playing in not pristine conditions. Just something to think about too, because I know everyone's going to freak out whenever they see the rain and they're going to, oh my God, 2 rookie quarterbacks in the rain. What are they going to do? And it's like, well, I mean, Penix has
especially they're going to dome team in the rain.
Yeah. So it's like, it's a dude that played a ton in the rain. Like, all it does is rain in Seattle. Like that's all it does. So just don't freak out too much whenever that ends up being the narrative, because that will inevitably be the narrative here in this one. Pull the wool over me, man. Like, I took a little of the 4.5 with the Falcons. I think for a debut, it was pretty damn good out of Penix. And now, game under your belt on the road, so there's no get me tickets to the game and all this shit like that. Like, it's just a little less pressure for him, I think, being on the road and just kind of getting out of Atlanta and second start and all of that. I think they might maybe even win this thing outright. I think that's not outside of the realm of possibilities either. So I took a little of 4.5. Maybe I'm a little too confident in what Penix could possibly be able to do, but I really did like what I saw. Another game that I rewatched this past week, and it wasn't perfect, but pretty good stuff out of a dude making his first start for sure. And now you get this Washington defense that just doesn't have anything, has no juice.